Hi, and a very warm welcome to a beautiful part of the world where the temperature has risen to a more comfortable -18. I've been out shoveling snow, enjoying this brisk fresh air in between snowfalls. And I wanted to mention how happy I am that you were able to join me today because I want to talk about where you place your focus. Have you ever noticed that what you focus on tends to become the world that fills your perception? Have you noticed that? We do have an ability as humans to bring all of our attention to one particular subject. It's what makes us very efficient at solving problems. It's a wonderful attribute. It also stimulates our creativity. But it has a downside. There's another aspect to this wonderful ability. And it's very simple. When you focus on problems, on difficulties, on challenges, in other words, when you focus on the things that produce negative reactions, those problems just fill your horizon. They dominate your perspective. And that's all we can see. It's just a facet of the way that we're wired. And if you find yourself in a position where you're becoming a little obsessive about the kind of problems and difficulties you're facing, it's amazing how easy it is to fall into a slough of despair, to become despondent, to lose hope, to lose the bigger perspective, the wider view that helps you to identify opportunities and resolutions to your problems rather than being totally focused on that narrow field of vision where it's just problems and difficulties. The fact is, the more you focus on problems and difficulties, the more you notice problems and difficulties. My suggestion is that when you learn to become a little bit more detached, when you learn to become a little bit less involved with that knee-jerk reaction where you just feel and think a certain way in response to whatever's happening, when you stop and breathe, just take a step back and look at things more calmly, when you broaden the vision, you realize that you have much wider sets of choices about how you want to react, whether you want to react at all. And when you're facing challenges, that's exactly when we need to take a deep breath, turn down the stress response, and focus on the best way to improve the situation. So rather than investing huge amounts of energy into fear and anxiety and worry, we use that energy to work out the best pathway, to navigate our way around the problem, to find a way to get closer to the kind of outcome that will suit our ambitions and our needs. Same thing applies to people who are difficult. Now I know that you don't have any difficult people in your life. You're too wonderful for that. But if, perchance, you run into people who are irritating or perhaps you find them just aggravating, frustrating, learning to take a deep breath and to take a step back so that you don't get sucked into those knee-jerk reactions can revolutionize the quality of your relationships. In other words, we don't allow other people's behavior to determine how we respond, how we think and feel. We're able to perhaps cultivate an oasis of calm, which can withstand some of the pressures of difficult behavior, especially when they occur in other people. Focus is a wonderful thing to bring to bear on any particular set of problems. But if we cultivate a positive attitude, we remember to smile and use our belief system to develop a stronger, more confident approach to whatever we're facing, chances are we'll deal with those issues much more successfully. If you find that you are reacting negatively to a situation, or particularly to an individual, see what happens when you learn to distance yourself, when you stop listening. In any conversation, when you stop listening, the other person eventually walks away because it's a fairly redundant exercise. If we're not pouring unnecessary energy into being angry or upset, we can find ourselves remaining calm, even in the face of difficult people. Now, I'd love to get your feedback on this particular subject. It's always a joy to hear from you. It is still 18 below, and we've got some colder weather due to blow in fairly soon. But in the meantime, as you stay warm, allow me to wish you a wonderful day. I'll be back with you again very soon.